Hello and welcome. You're watching 60 Minutes with me, Angela Ajitomobi, your NMMA TV presenter of the year 2010. Thank you again for all your support, all your comments and suggestions you're sending in by email and by text message. Now, this week, my host has been described by the 944 magazine of Atlanta, Georgia in the USA as the epitome of sophistication. He's the founder and operator of Mukoro Bespoke, a successful wardrobe concierge agency. He dresses celebrity and business clients around the world. In 2003, he was voted one of the 10 best-dressed men in Houston, Texas. In 2006, Saks Fifth Avenue, a huge department store known to most Nigerians who visit New York, voted him as most stylish. Of course, our Nigerian magazine here, Mode Men, made him in 2010 Nigeria's most stylish man. Well, you will meet my host. My host is a man that is known for his sartorial knowledge. He's a contributor for the Atlantan magazine, which tells you that he lives in Atlanta, Georgia. He's found time in a short trip to Nigeria to spend 60 minutes with me. Let me tell you a few things that people are saying about him. Now, the managing editor of 944 magazine that he used to write for says he may very well be the most stylish man in Atlanta. In all aspects of his life, sophistication, not swagger, rules. So who is he? What does he think about Nigerian fashion? What does he think about what Nigerian men are wearing? If you want to know what staples you should have in your wardrobe as a man and possibly as a woman, this is the program for you. So join me after the break. My host will be revealed then. Born in Delta State, bred in Lagos State, he considers himself a Lagos boy. So I'll wait and see if you make up your mind what you think. Is he a Lagos boy, an American boy, or a true Deltan? Join me after the break.
Largest producer of oil in the world. In over 50 years of oil exploration, the country has earned well over $600 billion as oil revenue. If properly managed, it should provide us with a health system that will save lives and not a decaying health system. A society where energy goes round for meaningful development and not an epileptic power supply system. A productive educational system and not a decaying educational system. A society where jobs are created for self-sustainability and not a society where our youth roam the streets unemployed. A highway of safety and security and not roads that lead us to early graves. We should have credible leaders who deliver dividends of democracy to the people and not corrupt leaders who divert our collective revenue for private use. Say no to corrupt leaders.
Welcome back, and my host joins me now, Stan Mukoro. Welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for finding time. I mean, I know you're here for like 4 days or something, so to squeeze me in, I'm really thrilled about that. You know, but you're currently working with Bentley in Atlanta. A lot of people know you as a sartorial gentleman, a stylish man. And of course, with the establishment of Mukoro Bespoke, people are wondering, what is the connection now? Bentley, you know, why Bentley at this time?
Handcrafted.
Okay. So you handcrafted clothes, handcrafted cars?
Exactly. Kind of tied in with Savile Row.
Savile Row, all right. Okay, so tell me, you insisted to me that Bentley is not a luxury.
No.
It's not. So why should I buy a Bentley?
Bentley is for the guy or the lady that's worked extremely hard through their life and at the end of the day has a goal. And that goal sometimes is a gift. And that gift, most times, is the Bentley customer.
The gift. Okay, so if I'm watching you now, I'm sure about 2-3 weeks now, a lot of people have seen your Bentley ad.
Yes.
If I'm interested in buying a Bentley, what do I do? Do I have to come all the way to America to buy a Bentley?
All you have to do is either call me
Yeah.
on my American number, which is 404-319-5888. Or better still, you can call me in Lagos, 0706-300-3555. Or you can email me. My email is ssmukoro@gmail.com.
All right. Now, would you deliver to me at my doorstep here in Lagos?
Absolutely.
Really?
Better still,
Yes.
I like your red lipstick. We've had clients that have sent us a bottle of the lipstick,
Yeah.
and we've made the closest color to the lipstick. Paris Hilton wanted a pink car. We made her a pink car.
A pink Bentley.
Yes.
Okay, you know, we keep having this argument. I think a Mercedes. You say Bentley. What will that set me back? You know, what kind of prices are we looking at here?
First of all, I should know. I was a manager of Mercedes-Benz for quite a number of years, as well as BMW. A Bentley takes it up a notch. The entry-level Bentley starts at about $190,000 US.
Wow.
And can go as high as 400,000.
Wow. What does Jay-Z drive?
Jay-Z has several.
Several?
Yes.
Okay, not just one.
Not just one.
So lots of rewards for hard work.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, you're passionate about Bentley as you are passionate about anything that will improve your style.
Yes.
Tell us about Bentley. You've talked about the stitching. You've talked about the panels. What is it about a Bentley that requires so many man-hours to put it together?
There is a video out there on the new flagship car called the Bentley Mulsanne, and there was a video, I think it was a National Geographic, and there was this lady there who said her goal in life was to make it to the steering wheel department. And she's fourth generation. It takes 15 to 16 hours to do just one steering wheel on a Bentley.
15 to 16 hours to do one steering wheel while they're stitching by hand?
They're stitching by hand, and the leather comes from a Scandinavian bull. Why do they use a Scandinavian bull? That's the best grade, the best raised bull. And the reason they use a bull is because bulls don't get pregnant. And so,
Why? So if you get pregnant, your skin goes bad?
No, the skin doesn't stretch. Women's and females' skins stretch better.
Yeah.
So the reason they use a bull is because that leather holds up. So you can look at a Bentley made in 1960. That leather will still be tight and strong.
It won't be crushed?
No.
You know how leather looks?
No.
It won't be like
Absolutely
that?
not.
All right. Now, the panels, that's what we call here the dashboard.
Okay.
How many hours goes into that?
We call it the veneer or the wood panel.
Okay.
From the time it's cut from the tree, it's cut from the bottom of the tree. It's shaped, and each panel, for instance, the Bentley Mulsanne has 33 wood panels in that car. Okay, each panel takes about 7 hours from start to finish. Part of the process is it's boiled. So what happens is 20 years from now, when you look at for instance, a Mercedes-Benz
Yes.
or a BMW, the wood sometimes tends to change color or fade. With a Bentley, that will never happen.
Wow.
7 hours per wood panel. So you're looking at 33 wood panels in a Mulsanne, for example. That's 230 hours plus of labor, intense labor and inspection for each car.
For the wood panels.
Yeah.
And how long does it take from start to finish to complete a Bentley car?
I would say 100, right about 156 days.
156
Yes.
days. That's about just over 5 months.
Yes.
5 months for one car.
Yes. And you know, you can bespoke it however you want. Bespoke means custom.
Okay, so yes, we'll come to Mukoro bespoke. Okay, because it looks like that is a major attraction for you. The fact that all that attention is paid to detail.
Yes.
156 hours. So how many cars do they make in a year?
Okay, that's a great question. What Bentley has done is they've cut down from last year's production, which was a little over 4,800 units, to this year, 1,100. And no, it's not because of economy. It's Bentley is going back to the way they used to be, which is really gearing towards being a privilege.
Okay, so now it's a gift that you're privileged to be able to give yourself.
Absolutely.
All right. So how many brands of Bentley do we have?
4.
I only know about the Continental convertible. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's called a Continental GTC.
Okay.
GT stands for Grand Touring. The C means convertible.
Okay.
Right now, we have the flagship car, which is all new Mulsanne, of which my store is only getting 5 or 6 this year. 5
to 6 units of the flagship.
Yes.
What is a flagship car?
The flagship car is the biggest car, the car that leads the brand.
That's the car that the biggest boys will want to buy.
Yes.
Okay.
We've had 2 so far. The third one will be here in 2 weeks.
In Nigeria?
Well, it will be in Atlanta in 2 weeks.
Yes.
There is an individual here that's trying to get that car.
Okay.
Actually from Nigeria.
All right. So there are Nigerians who think that they've worked hard enough to buy a Bentley.
You know, the funny thing is, at the Atlanta store, 30% of our clients are Nigerians.
Really? Are they politicians?
Absolutely not.
Really?
Yes, they're just hardworking individuals in the community. But the great thing about the Atlanta store is we cover 5 states. We're the only store within 5-state area.
In America?
Yeah. Yes.
5 states. What does that mean when you say you're the only store?
Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, Ohio, I believe.
Yeah. 5.
Anyway, so we have the Mulsanne, we have the Continental Flying Spur, which is another 4-door sedan.
Okay.
It's not as big as the Mulsanne, but it's bigger than the S-Class.
Okay. Than the S-Class Mercedes.
Yes, S-Class Mercedes. And then, of course, we have the Continental GT convertible, and then we have the new Continental GT Coupe.
Coupe. What's a coupe? 2-door?
A 2-door.
2-door.
Yes.
And the convertible, is that not a 2-door as well?
It's a 2-door.
Yes.
But the new body style will not be here until the end of the year.
Until the end of the year. So, now, look at me. What kind of Bentley do you think I should be driving?
You would look fabulous in a Continental GTC, the convertible.
The convertible. Yes. And how much would that set me back?
Between $260 and $320.
$260
USD.
and $320,000.
Yes.
To drive a car.
Yes.
That's the price of a house in America,
well,
isn't it?
It depends on how you look at it.
Yeah.
It's a house.
But you know, do you find that your clients tell you that it makes a statement?
Yes.
It does.
Most of our clients have egos and have very big egos, and are very aware of their image, and so driving a Bentley sets them apart.
Okay, so you do admit that buying a car for about $320 must have a little bit to do with ego.
Oh yeah, it's ego driven, a little cocky, a little British cocky.
But it's cool.
Yes.
It's cool. All right, join me again after the break. I will take this time to start negotiating. Maybe I will get a convertible Bentley. Who knows? I'm still spending 60 minutes with Stan Mukoro. See you again.
I want to present myself as an African.
I know what you like. I know what you like. Everything you love, baby, you love, baby, you love, baby, you love. I know what you like. Baby, you like, baby, you love, baby, you love, baby, you like, baby, you love.
EFCC, who got you on, and they want you now, and they follow you.
they do yahoo or any kind fraud, money laundering, counterfeiting, anything illegal. One day na one day, stop ya. EFCC them go catch you one day. EFCC them go catch you one day. Then they watch you now, then they follow you. My country people all over the world, make you no fear. When you see something, hey, say something, hey, do something, hey. Together we must fight and stop corruption final in our country. EFCC them go catch you one day. EFCC them go catch you one day. And they watch you now, then they follow you. EFCC will get you anytime, anywhere.
Welcome back. You're still watching 60 Minutes with me, Angela, and I'm spending it with Stan Mukoro from all the way from Bentley in Atlanta. Now let's talk about how the car moves. I like fast cars, and I look at the Bentley. I think it's too big and it's wieldy. Will I be able to drive fast?
Remember, it's called the GT,
Okay.
Grand Touring. Bentleys, surprisingly, especially me having a Mercedes-Benz background and a BMW background, just blew my mind. They're extremely strong, extremely powerful. They start with a 567 horsepower. Just think about it, 567 horses pulling a four-door sedan, okay? And can go as high as 621 horsepower. As a matter of fact, we hold the world record. The convertible holds a world record for the fastest car on ice.
On ice?
Yes, it's. You can Google it too.
Okay. Okay, so you're snowing and there's ice on the road.
Yes.
It won't disturb.
This car did 202 miles total speed in the Arctic on ice, and actually had to use a parachute to stop it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. To stop it on
Yes,
ice.
Yes.
Okay, so it moves fast.
Extremely well.
Let's talk about, because, it sounds so nice and, I want it already. But let's talk about parts. How available, if one were to invest in something like that, you're talking about $300,000. It's not the kind of place where you can nip out and get a mechanic to look at it. Do you have kind of deals? If I buy a car here, for instance, in Nigeria, I get a free service for a year, like your first, I think, 10,000 miles or whatever.
Yes.
What kind of things comes with the Bentley?
You get a 1 year free. Second year, if it's still under 20,000, you get 10,000 miles a year. If it's under 20,000 miles, all you're paying for is just service, oil change, and just brake checks and stuff like that. Parts are readily available, but you have to remember, our clients have multiple cars.
Okay, so it's not like you buy a Bentley and you're driving it every day.
No, our clients may have a home in Aspen, Colorado, may have a summer house in Florida, may have a house in Nigeria, may have a house in London, may have a house in
Because I was going to say it includes the Nigerians too. Nigerians can have houses in Aspen.
Actually,
Yeah.
that analogy I was giving you was based on the Nigerian.
Okay, because let's get things in perspective here. So, you think it's popular with Nigerians, that you've got a lot of Nigerians now buying? Are they shipping to Nigeria, or they're buying and keeping in their homes abroad?
Both.
Both.
And I think that the reason why Atlanta is getting more Nigerians and Ghanaians there is because of Delta Airlines and the direct flight from Lagos to Atlanta.
Okay.
So
if I wanted to come and view, I could come straight to Atlanta from Lagos.
Yes. I have left Atlanta on a Friday, got to Lagos Saturday afternoon, and back to Lagos and back to Atlanta Monday morning.
Because you came to sell a car, so it made it worth your while, didn't it?
Absolutely.
Okay, give us more technical details about the Bentley.
One of the things that most people don't talk about is we have what we call a triple charger. All Bentleys come with 2 batteries, And the reason that happens is because our clients tend to have a lot more cars and a lot more homes. So a client may not see a car for 6 months.
May not drive it.
May not see it, may not drive it for 6 months. That triple charger is connected to the car to an outlet, and it charges the car for as long as the car sits.
Ever so often.
Yes.
Okay, so that problem we have here, where you have to keep warming the car when you're away on holiday.
You don't have to do that with a Bentley.
But is there anything wrong with me driving my Bentley every day?
They actually are supposed to be driven every day.
Really?
Yes. The more you drive them, because you have to understand, these cars get moody. They're like human beings.
They get moody.
If you ignore them,
Yes.
it's like a child.
Then you tender loving care.
Same way.
Really?
Yes.
So the more you drive them,
The more you drive them, the more they'll respond. This is another thing that most people don't know about Bentleys. We were 6-time world champions for Le Mans.
Le Mans.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Really, that's great. No one knows
History.
that. I never knew that. I never knew that. Okay, so I'm trying to link now your style and your personal style to this Bentley. I know for a fact you've told me the reason you've tried to formalize this styling business is because your orthodontist kept commenting on how well dressed you were, and he says, why don't you try to make a living from this?
Yes.
So moving slightly now from Bentley, how do you manage the two? Are you still able to be hands-on with Mukoro Bespoke?
Yes. Let me go back to what really happened. The most defining thing in my life was when I walked away from the auto industry, from the car business, 3 years ago to start Mukoro Bespoke. Only because of what you just said with my orthodontist. And along the way, when I was with Mercedes-Benz, even though I wasn't directly involved with fashion, in some way I still was.
Yes.
We went out in 2003, the pressure of me showing up at an event and people making sure they look correct.
Yeah.
I don't say much. I just stare. If it's wrong, I'm just going to look at it and just
what you're thinking.
And so I walked away from the car business and I started writing for the Atlantan, as you know. Well, Bentley had an event about 4 months ago, and at the event, the publisher of the Atlantan introduced me to the Bentley folks.
Yes.
And he said, Stan was in the car business, and I think that his fashion and Bentley's a good fit.
In any case, you were top salesperson for Mercedes. You sold the most number of units of Mercedes-Benz cars. So you were coming highly recommended.
Yes. And fine. Let's go somewhere else.
Yes.
About a year ago, I did an image consulting for a bank in Nigeria, a very big bank in Nigeria, one of the top 3 banks.
Yes.
And in that presentation, all the bankers were looking at me like, okay, what does image consulting have to do with banking?
Yeah.
And so, I had my presentation. I said, scrap it. Let me tell you about me. Let me tell you my story, why image is really important. My first year as a manager with Mercedes-Benz, we netted $16 million US. So image, moving up in corporate America, image is extremely key. For the guy who wants to go from being a senator to running for a governor, image is key. For instance, for a guy who wants to go from senator to become president of the United States, image is key.
Okay, so that's why when Americans like their president and his swag, it means a lot. It didn't happen by chance.
Absolutely not. Look at Bill Clinton. Look at the president of France. Look at the Italian president. Look at the Russian president. Look at the Russian prime minister.
So you have to bring it on.
Yes. Look at what happened to Jay-Z. Jay-Z went from hip-hop mogul to a businessman. That's transition. Look at David Beckham. David Beckham, I consider one of the most stylish men in the world. However, he still has a stylist.
Really? Oh, you mean when they say, I know your client, Angel Ramos, for instance, when they say someone like that is best dressed, it doesn't mean that he chose the clothes himself.
You can't you might be a very stylish person. You might be a person that really likes clothing, and a lot of Nigerian executives like clothes, like to dress. But that eye and that combination,
How to put it together.
Plus how busy you are. David Beckham cannot go to every store. Security.
Yeah.
Okay. He can't do the things that I can do for him. Okay. A typical Nigerian executive, let me tell you how he shops. He comes to New York for a business meeting. He's in meetings all day, and as you know, we like to have meetings.
Yes, meetings drag on.
We have meetings about meetings.
Yes.
And typically, the Nigerian executive, during the lunch break, dashes downstairs to whatever boutique is in the hotel or around the corner and just buys up everything he sees.
Okay, and that's where you come in. Now, your role as an image consultant, I want you to explain what you do exactly. I've had many people ask me what exactly you do as a sartorial expert.
I help you with picking out clothing. I help you maintain that clothing. I help you manage that clothing where you don't look the same. Okay. So when you don't have time, for example, that business executive from Nigeria that's extremely busy, by the time he's done, at the end of the day, comes into his guest suite, and we have 20 outfits
laid out with the shoes.
Very detailed. And that's what happens with the Jay-Z's, with the President Obamas, with the David Beckhams, and once I know your personal style.
And your sizing.
Yes, and I know what you like and where you're going. It's a different game plan for a guy who wants to go from governor to president.
Yes, it's a different game. Okay, so where you are at the point where you are in your life will determine the kind of wardrobe that you're putting together.
Right, like I wouldn't dress a Debonge the way I would dress, for instance, a Governor Fashola. It's two different mindsets.
Okay.
It's a different mindset when I'm going to a presidential gala that's black tie, as opposed to going to a magazine's gala that's a black tie.
Okay, magazine and presidential.
Two different animals.
Why? What would you wear to the presidential?
I would be extremely timeless.
Timeless, classic.
Yes. So if you look at Sammy Davis, you couldn't tell what year it was. If you look at the Rat Pack, you couldn't tell what year it was.
Okay, that's what you mean by timeless. All right, we'll take another break, Stan, because when we come back, I know what you said about classics and how classic clothes don't date. So maybe we'll take it from there when we get back from the break. So join me again after the break.
I present myself as an African.
I know what you like. I know what you like. Everything you love, baby, you love, baby, you love, baby, you love. I know everything you like, baby, you like.
Alright, welcome back. We're still talking fashion, cars, Bentleys. Are you dreaming already like I am? Stan Mukoro is my host this week. Now, Stan, listen to this. You say that all men should be aping James Bond's debonair flair or Johnny Depp's edge. In other words, if you can tell what year your outfit came from, you failed the test.
Yes.
True.
If it wasn't in a James Bond movie, you can go back to 1960, 1967, 1970, 75, 80, 90. If it wasn't in a James Bond movie, it's trendy. You build from classics. You build from things that are timeless. That's how you build a wardrobe. Now, do I have some edgy stuff? Yes.
Okay.
But my wardrobe is very strong, and so I can go to that edge. For a guy who's starting out, you build from classics, because I do have things. I have a pair of suedes that I bought from Russell and Bromley, I believe early 80. I think it was 1981. Wow. And I call that the ATM shoot.
ATM shoes.
Yes. There's a story behind that.
Yes, I know that. Okay, so you know, it's got to be classic. It's got to be not. I mustn't be able to tell what year that fashion reigned.
No.
Okay, so looking around now, I want you to tell us 3 top fashion mistakes that men make. I don't want to say Nigerian men, but men generally. I know the first one you're going to talk about, which is improper fitting.
Yes.
You say that you spend more on alterations rather than the main garment, and your wife complains about that.
I am obsessed with the right fit.
With the right. So any man who's watching you now, who goes into Hugo Boss and buys a suit, he's committing a crime of fashion by wearing that suit without altering it to his body type.
Let me give you an example.
Yes.
It has to make logic. See, when people shop, they don't use logic. Here's the logical reason. When a manufacturer makes a suit, they make them in sizes 40, 42, 44, 48, 50. Okay. Shirts 16, 17, 18, 19 neck sizes.
Yes.
Okay. You take a 17-inch neck. Okay. That person could have a 40-inch waist, or could have a 32-inch waist. Okay, so 2 guys, 1 shirt.
Right.
Okay, so the guy with a 17-inch neck and 32-inch waist goes and buys that shirt. Logically, you've got all that material. Logically, it needs to be altered.
Okay, so when we see men,
Yes.
I see a lot of men in suits,
Yeah.
and there is a gap between the neck and the shirt.
They didn't get there. He didn't have his neck measured
For that shirt.
exactly.
Okay.
He's wearing the wrong size shirt.
He's wearing the wrong size shirt. And another thing I think we're all guilty of is we've been buying clothes in one size all our lives, and we continue to think that we are that size. You actually spoke to me about that here some time back.
I am very aware of my eating habits, and it's all lifestyle. You know, with Mukoro Bespoke, and that's why the Bentley thing, the fashion thing, the lifestyle thing all makes sense.
Yes.
You've got to be aware of where you are at any given moment. You know, when I'm in Nigeria, I eat differently. When I'm in Atlanta, I eat differently because I'm aware. I don't even have. You shouldn't have that much room in your clothing, because once you tighten it,
Yeah. You can't afford to put on weight.
you can't afford to put on weight.
So it's it helps you to maintain discipline.
Exactly.
All right. So improper fit. A lot of people are wearing clothes that don't fit properly. I remember that you commented my clothes were a size bigger than I was. I didn't agree with you at the time until, of course, I bought a smaller size. So the fit is important.
Yes.
What else are the fashion mistakes?
This is logic again.
Yes.
In every band, there's always a lead singer.
Okay.
You can't have 2 lead singers in any song.
Okay.
It's always going to be 1 lead singer. Jackson 5, Michael Jackson was the lead singer.
Yeah.
The rest are backups. When I see gentlemen, for instance, in a bold pinstripe suit,
Yes.
okay, that's the lead singer.
The bold pinstripes.
Yes. So his tie or the tie should be backup,
Not as bold.
not as bold. You know, I'm wearing a charcoal gray double-breasted suit. Okay, very conservative. Okay, but my lead singer is in my lining.
Wow. See that? That's exciting.
That's my lead singer.
But you know, how does anyone see the lining?
It's cocky.
Oh, okay. You
So-
know it's there.
So, and that's what I do with executives is, for example, an Emerald River Bank, very conservative. This is a very conservative bank look, but playing with individuality, and that's how he separates himself from the rest. Is a little lead singing underneath.
Okay, so when a person is dressed completely, only one thing should stand out.
Only one thing.
It could be your shoes.
It could be the shoes. It could be the socks. It could be the lack of socks. there shouldn't be too many things going on.
Okay, so that brings me to the question of color.
Yes.
There shouldn't be too many things going on. I see a lot of men trying to do color. You do color. I mean, I've heard it said that if a black man is seen wearing orange jeans in Atlanta, the first question they say, is that Stan? You're the only one who dares wear orange jeans.
You know, it's funny how people ask me, what kind of jeans? I only wear Levi's. I have quite a few pairs of jeans, but my most favorite in the last 3 or 4 years has been Levi's.
You said that your most treasured piece is the 1924 Levi's.
Yes.
You've had just about every brand of jeans, and you always come back to Levi's. They're the best.
Yes, absolutely.
What, Levi's 501?
I don't wear Levi's 501. I wear Levi's Slim Fit. I don't even know what name it is.
Okay.
I think it's 567 or something.
Why Levi's, though?
They're easy, they're cheap. I don't wash them.
They're cheap.
Yes.
You see, but that's the thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people who read you, I know you were writing in Vanguard's at Leo magazine
Yes.
for so many years. You've written a lot of magazines.
Yes.
People who read you, talking Tom Ford and stuff like that, don't think you do cheap clothes.
Because I don't put prices on what I like. I wear Tom Ford shoes, but I don't wear Tom Ford suits.
Why not?
Because that's not my thing. I go by fit and what works for me.
Now, okay, so a Tom Ford suit is not your thing.
Yes.
What is your thing?
It could be Sartorio. It could be Caruso. It could be Purple Label. It could be Black Label, Ralph Lauren. It could be.
I'll stop you there before you confuse my viewers. What is Purple Label? What is Black Label?
Okay, Purple Label is the flagship for Ralph Lauren.
All right.
It's mostly handmade, and it's their high end, the most high end.
Okay, so when you go in and you want a Purple Label suit from Ralph Lauren,
Yes.
it's going to be made by hand.
Most of the time, it's made by hand.
How long will that take?
They have some off the rack, or you can custom it. And you know, let me give you an example. Tom Ford is known as the most expensive or very expensive brand. I would say to you that Ralph Lauren does most of the suits are more expensive than Tom Ford, but Tom Ford does such a great branding of his brand that people have an image and an experience that okay, this guy is just out of the ball.
Okay, so he's got it right in terms of branding.
Yes.
But in terms of your style, you would go for Ralph Lauren suit?
Yes. Tom Ford suits to me are two 1970s. I call it the what was it? Not Sean Connery, the guy who was after Sean Connery, the Roger Moore. His lapels are a little too wide for me. That's not my thing.
Okay, lapels are a little too wide. Okay, so tell us a few staples. I'm looking here, your guide to men's style in 2011, and the 5 must-haves you've written there. You say boots are definitely strong this year.
Yes.
And then I would say to you, I've tried wearing boots here.
Yes.
People think it's a bit funny that you're wearing boots in hot weather. Do boots have anything to do with the cold?
No.
Or?
I became a boot guy actually in Texas.
Okay, cowboy town.
And Texas mirrors Nigeria's weather.
Okay.
So that doesn't fly. When I wear boots with jeans and t-shirts.
Okay. Not with a suit?
No.
You wouldn't wear boots with a suit?
No.
Is that a no-no?
It's yes, it is.
It is, okay.
I couldn't.
You're trying to look at it nicely, but there's no nice way to put it. All right, you can tell a lot about a man by looking at his shoes.
Absolutely.
What do you mean by that?
How well taken care of they are. How clean they are.
How clean?
Yes.
Are you talking about creases in the leather?
Creases, taste, outdated, classic.
But not necessarily expensive.
Not necessarily. Price, and people think that because it's expensive, it looks good on you.
Yes.
Fashion doesn't wear you. You wear fashion. You make the fashion. So it has to work. And I try to let my clients understand that, you know, I can take a Gap suit, well fitted, and make it look like a $4,000
And work
suit.
it.
So it doesn't necessarily mean that because of expense, it will fit.
Okay, so that's one thing that I think a lot of Nigerians are getting wrong.
Yes.
I'm buying Gucci because it's Gucci and it's expensive,
Yes.
but whether or not it suits me is a story for another day.
Why would you wear a brand that doesn't pay you for advertising?
Wow, why would you wear a brand that doesn't pay you for advertising? We'll take it from there, Stan, when we come back from the break. So please join us again.
I want to present myself as an African.
Well, our concluding moments now with Stan Mukoro. Now, Stan, you were talking about not wearing labels when they're not paying you. And I'm just sitting here thinking, all those people who like the big G, you know, the C of Chanel, and they're wearing it and it's there on their shoe and, you know, on their earrings. Why are you closing your eyes? Why? Is it wrong for everyone to know my designer?
No.
You know.
Because think about it. Those who know.
Those who know.
You know, you take two brands. You take YSL, Yves Saint Laurent, and you take Gucci. Same factory. You know, to me, YSL is old money.
Okay.
That's what it represents. I can wear YSL and Clark can wear YSL, and Gucci makes the same thing, and it doesn't have the label on the outside.
But it's the
That's
same
class.
thing. That's class. Okay, so I mean, the message now is drop it. All those, you know, logos and names splashed on.
Someone said to me a few years back that Giorgio Armani was the wife. Gianni Versace was the mistress.
Yeah, but you know the thing, Stan, is Versace. They had these patterns. I mean, you knew a Versace shirt without seeing the label because he had those distinct patterns like
Right.
Fendi.
Right.
So is that wrong as well, to have that kind of pattern out there in your face?
That doesn't bother me as much as seeing an individual wearing a G shirt, G baseball cap, G hat, G pants,
with
G
the G
belts,
written on it.
G shoes with all the print on it. I mean,
Yes.
you're a billboard.
And they're not
People
paying
in
you.
America get paid for that.
Yeah, for wearing that.
Yes.
Okay, then another thing here, I'm now talking about the problems that we have here. When I've seen...
So, I know where you're going with
I
that.
know where you, and I'm sure you know. When you see some men wear a suit and they leave that label on the outside, you know, it says Pierre Cardin or whatever. They think, and I keep thinking, the real Hugo Boss would never sew the label on the outside, on the
Actually,
sleeve.
most designers do. That came from in the retail stores.
Okay.
Being able, as an employee of the retail store, if you came in looking for a Hugo Boss suit, that was the way I could easily identify where that rack was.
Okay, you just turned the sleeve rather than go up
Right.
to look at the neck.
Exactly.
You just looked at the sleeve and it gave you an
Right.
idea.
And typically,
Yes.
it's easy to just pull out. Once you sell the suit, once you buy the suit, that needs to come off. And I just don't understand why people continue wearing that. It's kind of like, you know, like you buy a pair of sunglasses or glasses.
Yes.
And
That sticker on the lens, you leave the sticker on. So it's really bad. But you've seen it around?
yes,
Yeah.
my clients will never be caught dead.
Would it be right to tell a gentleman like that? You know, you're sitting.
Absolutely. You know,
Do you do things like that when you come across people like in the bank, or you know who
there
got
is-
it wrong?
There is, if I am known for fixing guys.
Okay.
Without
When you say
saying anything.
fixing, you walk up to the guy,
We're having a conversation, we're talking about something, and I'm just known to be
fiddling with your tie,
yes.
your
You know,
cufflinks.
there are things like, you know, 2 buttons tied on the, you know, 2 buttons buttoned on the jacket. It should only be one. I'm known for fixing that.
I know what else bothers you. The shirt, the gap in the shirt to the neck. That why? What does it look like? You borrowed the shirt?
You bought the shirt, you didn't get your shirt fitted correctly. My biggest one though is when the collar flies.
What do you mean collar flies? Like yours is sitting inside the
Yes.
jacket.
Right. And the biggest excuse in Nigeria, or I hear from Nigerians, well, you know, in every shirt there should be a collar stay. It's a little plastic thing that goes in here.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, sometimes the dry cleaners lose it. Sometimes the guy who washes your clothes at home may lose it.
Yes.
But you can use a paper clip.
Paper clip and put it in
Yeah.
to keep it down.
Down.
Okay, so there's no excuse for that white collar escaping from that
No,
jacket.
it shouldn't be flying.
Now, you talked about the buttons on a suit. I've seen men in jackets with 4 buttons all done up.
It should burn them.
Why? 4 buttons are out.
So out.
But you know, you can't, if you can't afford to buy new clothes.
So that's trendy. You will never see that in a James Bond movie. That was a trend a few years back.
So that's what you're trying to explain, that fashion is what you make it.
Yes, it's absolutely what you make it, as long as you stay within the guidelines of classic. And you can go to the edge. The edge may be your lining. The edge may be double-breasted, single-breasted.
But when you're climbing up any ladder, be it
Yes.
the corporate ladder or
Yes.
anything, would you advise anyone to go over the edge just yet? No. Okay, so play the game by the classic rules.
Yeah. Go by the 48 laws of power.
Yeah. Okay, go by.
Whatever the boss is wearing, or the guidelines of what the boss wants you to wear,
Yes.
that's what you need to adhere to.
Okay, and then when you have, as we say here, made it, you can think about going over the edge a
You can
little
go
bit.
over the edge.
A little bit. Okay, so your favorite designer, would you say you have a favorite designer?
I would say, in terms of, if I were to open up my own store
Yes.
or my own brand, and you know, that's been in my mind for the last couple of years, I would use the Ralph Lauren formula.
What is that?
Ralph Lauren is a one-stop shop, from home furnishings to kids, to men, to women, to whatever you want to call it.
Okay, and I think that's the reason why you said to me you're not interested in having a fashion label,
Yes.
because it kind of restricts you. How
Yes.
many items do you want to have, you know, in a label, for instance?
You know, for me, I think that there's still so much work to be done for men that it would take me a long time before I can focus on other things. Right now, I think that there is a gap between our age group and the kids coming up in terms of fashion and in terms of what they understand to be being a man or being a gentleman.
Now, and I want to take you up on that
Yeah.
because you're very passionate about
Yeah.
this. What do you mean by that?
When we grew up,
Yes.
we dressed up. We wore suits to church on Sundays. We pulled our pants up.
Yes. You didn't sag.
It didn't sag.
Yeah.
We wore our sizes. You know, we believed in the tape measure.
Yeah.
We could tell. We didn't think because the Rolling Stones dressed on stage, that's how we were supposed to dress.
Yes, but you know, saying that, isn't that not being funky or hip? I mean, I remember Cameo and I remember Michael Jackson's jacket. Everyone wanted those things. So, you know, if you're saying that,
But you weren't allowed to wear those things.
okay,
You could wear those things to a club or to a disco.
yes, to a party,
Yeah, to a party. But you didn't wear those things in the elevator.
no.
You know, and I try to tell people, when Jay-Z is on stage, he's working.
And that's the point. People don't get it.
That's his job. When he walks off stage, he goes back into clothing like me and you.
You're kidding me.
Absolutely.
Because I remember watching a reality show with Sean Combs,
Yes.
P. Diddy, and some youngster won the prize to spend the day at work with him.
Right.
And the young boy turned up at work and said, "Where's the music? Where are the girls?" And he saw Diddy in a suit.
Yes.
And he says, "You know, we're not on stage here. We work here." So there's a difference.
Absolutely. And you asked me a question back, a few minutes back about one of my pet peeves. The third thing I can't stand and that I have a problem with is when you see someone that's not effortless. Okay?
That's not effortless.
Yes. Effortless means they're not used to wearing what they wear. And you can see kids. I remember when I was in my mid-20s and I was in a suit, you couldn't tell.
That you weren't used to wearing a suit.
And that's because we wore suits as kids. We wore suits to church. We wore suits out. We wore jackets out. Kids today don't. They only wear to prom.
Right. So they're not comfortable.
Absolutely not. Which is why in Atlanta, most times, most events, big events, I'll wear native. Only so that I don't forget
Where you're from.
Yes.
Where you're from. And what kind of responses do you get when?
Extremely positive.
Okay.
I've had Nigerians come up to me and just hug me.
For wearing that.
Yes, for being that daring.
Okay.
You know.
And what shoes would you wear with native now? Because I know that some people have tried to wear socks with brocade, agbada, and lace-up shoes.
No.
Absolutely not.
No, just slip-ons.
Slip-ons.
Yes.
Slip-ons or slippers.
Yes.
Do they have to be branded, like the YSL slip-ons with that?
I don't mind wearing YSL or branded if they're paying me for
Okay, if
advertising.
they're paying you. Okay. Otherwise, nondescript.
Yes.
Nondescript. And would you wear a cap with your native in America as well? You wear it full?
If it's formal,
Is it accepted?
yes. Oh yeah.
Acceptable in
it's-
corporate circle?
They get used to it.
Okay.
And that's why you want to do that often. That way, in the beginning, I looked uncomfortable. Now, when I do it, and people are used to it.
Yeah. And they're used to it.
And that's what the kids need to do the reverse of here in Nigeria is dress up so that when they become older and in corporate America, they don't look out of place.
You think maybe that we're affected by all this entertainment and music and all that? It's probably affecting
Absolutely.
the way they're all looking at things.
Absolutely.
All right, so thanks for spending 60 minutes with me. We haven't concluded on the Bentley. I'm hoping that we will.
Well, I will ship one here for you so you can test drive. How about that?
All right, and then if I don't want it, we sell it and we share the money.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. My host this week has been Stan Mukoro, a sartorial expert. He lives in Atlanta, Georgia. He's been in Nigeria for 4 days. He's here on business. He's delivering clothes and he's delivering Bentleys. So if you want a Bentley or you want a change of your wardrobe, this is the man to see. You can visit his website, mukorobespoke.com, or send him an email message. His email address will show on your screen. I'm Angela Ajitumobi, your NMMA TV presenter of the year 2010. Join me again, same time, same station next week, because you never know who I'll be spending 60 minutes with.